Welcome to the Survivor to Thriver show with your happiness expert, Samia Bano. Do you feel stuck, silent, and stressed? Is something hurting your heart and soul? Are you burning yourself out? If so, you are in the right place because this is the podcast people from all over the world join in to learn exactly how to stop suffering and start living with inner peace and joy. Let's get started. The other day, I was having a conversation with one of my clients. A few weeks prior, we had gone through a process with her that I take a lot of my clients through to help them identify their life meaning and purpose. And we came out of that process and she felt great about what she had discovered about her life meaning and purpose. We even identified specific action steps for her to take to begin to move forward towards her life vision and goals. And when I had asked her, hey, is this something you can manage? Are these action steps things that you can actually see yourself implementing? Do they seem realistic and doable for you? And it was like, yes. I'm really, really excited. I'm really happy that, that we have done this session and everything that has come out of it, which is great, awesome. And so a few days ago when I was talking with her, I was basically doing a check-in with her and a follow-up from when we had done this session earlier on her life meaning and purpose. And one thing that came up was, she was like, okay, so I've been doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, but I still feel like there's something missing. I feel like I need to be doing more. I feel like there's like all these pieces to my vision that, I wish they were already manifested in my life. And, some of them involve, okay, I have to find some, build a team around me, and so I have to find those people that can become a part of my team so that together we can begin to more fully implement the vision that I have. And it's like those people still haven't turned up in my life and I still haven't found them. And it's causing me to start to get stressed, and it's making me feel this impatience, and it's making me actually begin to doubt, like, hey, am I really headed on the right track? Or, maybe there's something more that I need to be doing, but what is it that I need to be doing? Because every time that I reconnect with my heart, and I check in about what do I need to be doing, my heart tells me, hey, you're doing fine. You're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. So what's going on? Why am I feeling like this? This was the central question. So I was like, well, actually, this is a great question. And you know what is the best way we can get the answer to this question? Yeah, let's reconnect back with your heart. See, and check in with your heart as to what the best solution is. See, so we reconnected with her heart and her best self, and we checked in once again. Hey, is there anything else that she needs to be doing right now? And once again, her heart very clearly said no. There's nothing else that she really needs to be doing in terms of living out her life meaning and purpose. She's on the right track. She's doing everything that she needs to be doing. It's great. But then why is she feeling this way? And what can we do about it? And turns out that the core problem that was causing her to have all these feelings and doubts was that she wasn't living in the moment enough. Even though she was on the right track, on the right path, doing everything she needed to be doing, but mentally and emotionally she wasn't staying present in the moment enough. So what was happening is that she kept thinking about the past, she kept thinking about the future, and thinking about it in ways that were causing stress, that were causing anxiety, that were causing her to feel impatient. So it was basically, we all have habitual patterns of thinking and behaving. And it was those kinds of habitual patterns that were coming up for her. See, because before she started working with me, this was just a very normal thing for her to just be worrying, stressing, whether it was about the past or about the future. And when you're not staying present in the moment, you're worrying about the past and the future, then it becomes really, really difficult to maintain proper perspective of what is happening right now. Even though even if you are making really good progress in the present, if your focus is not on the present, you are not going to be able to appreciate how much progress you're making. You see? And that will cause stress, that will cause worry, that can cause doubts to crop up. And a lot of people, what I've seen happen, I know this has happened with me also, and I see this happening, or like a lot of my clients being in danger of this happening to them, is that, see, when we get these feelings of doubt, of impatience, of I don't know if I feel like there's something missing, I feel like there's something more that should be happening or that should have already happened, the way that we respond to these feelings is we're like, okay, this means there must be something wrong, that we are doing something wrong, that we really do need to do something else or something more. And so we take on more stuff, or we may even give up on what we're doing and take a different path and start going down in a different direction. But the proper response, it doesn't solve any problems, right? I mean, in the short term, it may make you feel good. It may make you feel like, okay, now finally, again, I'm doing something useful, I'm doing something helpful, and you have that hope, okay, that this time things will turn out better. But as time goes on, you realize, oh no, that didn't actually help. It didn't actually help, because turns out that wasn't the core problem. You didn't really need to change directions. You didn't really need to do anything different. You just needed to practice being in the moment more. And this was the message that my client got. And so this is a solution now that I coached her on, in terms of, okay, how do you implement this in your life? How can you practice being more present in the moment? So you can maintain a better perspective on what's going on with you. See, this was like a few weeks ago when we did like an episode and I was talking about how you don't want to live like a cow, right? Because what happens with the cow is that when it's feeding time, the cow puts its head down and starts to, now we are imagining a happy cow that is free range out in the fields, living its life like a cow is meant to. So a cow that's like free to roam the fields and eat freely from the grass that that's there. Basically, what happens is the cow put its head down, and it'll tear off a clump of grass. It'll chew on it. It keeps its head down, and without really looking up very much, it'll just move its head to the next little clump of grass that it can reach and eat that, and then so on and so forth. It keeps its head down and keeps going to the next little clump and the next little clump and the next little clump of grass that it can eat. And so by the time the cow is done eating, what you notice is that the cow has moved all over the field, possibly, but in very random directions, in very random patterns. The cow is not deliberative in terms of, okay, I must follow this path, follow this direction, eat the grass here but not here. No. The cow, because it keeps its head down for the most part, while it's busy eating, has a very narrow perspective on what's going on. Okay? And that, if we have that kind of narrow perspective when it comes to how we live our lives, that can get us in all kinds of trouble. But today, what we're talking about is a different kind of problem that we can have. And this is a problem where we may be looking up and around too much. So this is like, imagine we've now become a dysfunctional cow that is so busy looking up and around everywhere around it that it's not able to focus on the task at hand, which is to eat. You see? So there is a value to living like a cow sometimes in our lives. Because, hey, you know what? One thing that a cow is a master at, that is really, really great at, that we as humans can really struggle with, that is living in the moment. A cow is awesome at living in the moment. When its goal is to eat, it's fully focused on its goal of eating. It's not worrying about the past, it's not worrying about the future, it's just time to eat, I'm going to eat, and I'm eating. So sometimes we actually do need to be more like the cow. Sometimes we do need to live more like the cow. Is there definitely a balancing act? So today's lesson, everybody, is that if you are struggling with a sense of impatience and struggling with a lot of stress in your life and worry in your life, and right now we're talking about it in the context of trying to live out our life meaning and purpose, but this is true in general also. Whenever you're feeling very stressed, very worried, feeling impatient, these are all symptoms that at the root of all of these symptoms, the problem is we're not living in the moment enough. So when you're struggling with this particular problem in your life, your solution is to be more like the cow and practice living more in the moment. All right, so I'm actually going to go ahead and wrap with that thought for today. And next time, I'll see. Maybe I'll talk to you more about how you can actually practice living more in the moment, because it's a big challenge that pretty much all of us struggle with. So until we connect next time, I want to remind you to please go on iTunes and show me your love by leaving the Survivor to Thriver show 5-star rating. And until we connect next time, I also wish you lots of peace and joy.